How to use a Windows keyboard on Mac OS X. I have a Logitech Windows keyboard and I want to use it on my iMac. The problem is that many buttons are mapped to the wrong places. For example, when I press right Alt+2 I get the symbol and not A at symbol. The problem also exists when I'm running RDP and log on a Windows XP machine. I have Swedish regional settings, input method, on Mac OS X. Is it possible to remap the keyboard so that on a remote Windows XP machine all keys on the keyboard really work? Can I disable all Mac OS X shortcuts when I'm in an RDP window? I have a standard Logitech Windows USB keyboard. It seems to be a layout problem. When I install the Logitech keyboard layout I can choose it, but it just shifts back to the default layout after a while.
You might have a look at Ukulele, a free Mac OS X keyboard layout editor. Ukulele is a Unicode keyboard layout editor for Mac OS X versions 10.2 and later. Version 2.0 and later are only for Mac OS X versions 10.4 and later. Beginning with version 10.2, Jaguar, Mac OS X supports an XML-based format for keyboard layouts, .key layout files. These may be installed by copying them to the keyboard layouts folder within library or ~library, then they are enabled via the Input tab of the International, Language and AMP, Text in 10.6, module within System Preferences. However, modifying keyboard layouts, let alone creating entirely new keyboard layouts, such as for a new script, by directly editing the XML text is tedious and error-prone. Ukulele aims to simplify keyboard layout editing by providing a graphical interface to .key layout files, where the desired characters can simply be dragged onto keys as needed. The character palette or character viewer, available in the input menu if it has been enabled in System Preferences, is a great place to find the characters. In addition to simple assignment of single character codes to keys, Ukulele can assign multiple character strings and can create dead keys, where a keystroke sets a new state that modifies the output of the following keystroke. For more information about Mac OS X keyboard layouts, as well as existing layouts available for download, see Input Resources. For some types of layout, particularly with large numbers of dead key sequences, creating a layout with the text-based tool Key Layout Maker may be a useful alternative.
The problem is that your modifier keys are incorrectly set. You can fix this by going to System Preferences is greater than keyboard is greater than modifier keys. Change the settings around until you get the correct configuration for your keyboard.
You might try under System Preferences /language and text /input sources. I see, for example, British and British PC as separate categories. Selecting the latter seems to cause keys to map correctly to my British Logitech PC keyboard. This is after installing the Logitech Device Manager, with no visible effect, and head-scratching over the contents of library/keyboard layouts. This in on 10.8.3, for what it's worth.
System Preferences is greater than language and text is greater than input sources includes many PC layouts, and there are also pre-made PC layouts for languages like German and French. You can use Ukulele to create your own key layout. Select File Anew from current input source. Change the keys. Save as bundle to Library Keyboard Layouts. Keyboard layouts in ~library keyboard layouts can't be selected in password dialogues or the login window, and the popovers shown when holding keys don't work with normal .key layout files. Log out and back in and enable the input source in System Preferences Language and AMP, text or input sources. To apply changes to a key layout, you have to for example run sudo touch library keyboard layouts and log out and back in. You can disable the default input sources by editing the com.apple.hitoolbox list. Another option is to use Carabiner, previously called Kiramap for MacBook. You can remap keys in the user interface and it takes effect directly. Or if you can consider switching to the UDES layout, it has all ASCII characters in the same positions on Mac and Windows.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.